Salt Bae, real name Nusret Gökçe, has been in the headlines after storming onto the pitch after the Argentinian 2022 FIFA World Cup victory and disrupting the celebrations. Lionel Messi now has a major incentive to finally move to the United States because he won't have to deal with Salt Bae. Following Salt Bae's annoying antics, the US Open Cup took to Twitter and wrote, "Salt Bae is hereby banned from the 2023 Open Cup final." Salt Bae is a Turkish chef, butcher, restaurateur, and food entertainer. He became a viral celebrity and internet meme in 2017 for his technique of preparing, seasoning, and serving meat. He owns a chain of luxury steakhouses called Nusret, with branches in Turkey, Greece, the UK, the US, the UAE, and Qatar. The name of his restaurants comes from his own name and ET, which means meat in Turkish. Now, before we move on to how the viral celebrity chef Salt Bae has successfully managed to get banned from the oldest and most prestigious soccer tournament in America, let's take a look at who he is and how he rose to fame. Born to a Kurdish family in August of 1983 in Turkey, Nusret Gökçe comes from a family of 5 children. His father, Faik Gökçe, worked as a miner and worked away from the family home for several months at a time in a poor suburb east of Istanbul. In 2019, Salt Bae admitted to the Times that he spent his childhood in poverty, wearing shoes and clothes that were too small for him. At the age of 12, Nusret Gökçe left school and started working as an apprentice butcher to help his father manage the family finances. "I woke up at 6 a.m., traveled 2 hours by train and 30 minutes by bus. Then I spent whole days on my feet, without days off or holidays," he confided. Nusret Gökçe has always dreamt of opening a restaurant. After completing his military service at the age of 20, he managed to convince a bank to lend him £2,500 to go to Argentina and discover the meat industry. 7 years later, he opened his first restaurant in Istanbul and earned £4,500 on the first day. The butcher then befriended Turkish businessman Farit Sahenk Nusret and opened restaurants in major cities, Ankara, Dubai, and Doha. Although he made a name for himself in the restaurant industry, his life truly changed in 2017 when his video was posted on social media and accumulated 17 million views. In his video, the butcher sprinkles salt on meat with a cobra-shaped hand. After that famous move, his success skyrocketed. He showcased his famous steak in gold in his restaurants, attracting the attention of Leonardo DiCaprio, David Beckham, Usher, and Kylian Mbappe. His estimated net worth is valued between $50 and $70 million and has almost 50 million followers on Instagram. Messi had previously been photographed with him, but it seems there's a time and a place for the Argentinian captain. More about this in a moment. Despite his remarkable success, Salt Bae has not been sheltered from controversies and criticism. Czech influencer Tinus Treshnikova became a victim of a failed fire show in Salt Bae's Istanbul steakhouse when her dress caught fire during a show, resulting in horrible burns. Witnesses described how the woman and her boyfriend, CEO of a Hong Kong-based company, suddenly became engulfed in flames. Several other guests also faced less serious body burns. In November 2019, 4 of Salt Bae's former employees accused him of getting a share of their tips. They were allegedly fired from his New York restaurant when they tried to ask questions about the tips. A trial was set to take place to investigate the issue until Salt Bae reached a settlement with his former employees and paid them $230,000. When asked why he fired them, he responded, "I was not satisfied with the performance of the 4 employees. Since they were fired, they acted with the feeling of, 'Look what we're going to do to you,' and put forward these tip allegations." In September 2020, his Boston restaurant was closed down by public health officials several days after it opened due to violations of COVID-19 safety standards. It reopened a few weeks later in early October 2020. A year later, in October 2021, Gökçe came under scrutiny again after the British media highlighted an exorbitant £37,000 bill for a meal at one of his UK restaurants. And if that wasn't enough, Salt Bae has made headlines again. He can't seem to stay out of trouble or out of the limelight. In December 2022, after the 2022 FIFA World Cup between Argentina and France, Salt Bae was once again the focus of online criticism after joining the Argentine players on the pitch and grabbing the trophy to pose with it, a gesture reserved for winners and heads of state. Salt Bae may already regret his actions at the World Cup as he faces criticism from around the world. In a series of videos posted to his Instagram page, the chief awkwardly interrupted players like Angel Di Maria, Christian Romero, who was holding his one-year-old son, and Lisandro Martinez as they posed with the famous trophy. Salt Bae takes his cringiest even further and tries to get Messi's attention amid the celebrations by repeatedly placing his hand on his shoulder and almost begging for a handshake. Messi, the Argentinian superstar captain, had just reached a new height of success and was clearly not interested in the jokes and continued to walk away, leaving the chef mortified. It turns out that Salt Bae broke the official World Cup protocol in relation to who's allowed to touch the trophy. The original FIFA World Cup is one of the most recognized sports symbols in the world and a priceless icon. It can only be touched and held by a very select group of people, which includes former winners of the FIFA World Cup and heads of state. Nobody is sure which of the two categories Salt Bae falls into. The World Football Federation announced a thorough investigation into the abusive behavior. Salt Bae's actions sparked fury among football fans. He's now banned from the US Open Cup, a knockout competition featuring teams from the MLS as well as other domestic tournaments. It's not known, however, if Salt Bae even had the 2023 event on his radar. So, what do you make of all this? Did you watch the FIFA World Cup closing ceremony and cringe at Salt Bae's plea for attention? Is this the beginning of the end for him? Or was it a great move that will result in an even bigger following and fame? If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and press that subscribe button. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.